guys, this is my third video for the World Football News Network, and I'm done with MLS 101. Now I'm just moving on to previews and reviews of MLS games, and I will be previewing this weekend's games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as well as reviewing the game that happened Wednesday night between the New England Revolution and New York City Football Club. But first, I want to talk about the Orlando manager situation. I want to get that first video out when it happened, so I could be one of the first people to put it out there. But now I've had time to think about it. I've had time to talk to a couple of my friends. Lou, who also works for the network, me and him talked about it a little bit. We have determined 3 possible candidates for the Orlando job. 2 of them's more realistic. I don't expect it to be anybody else but the first 2, but I just threw the 3rd candidate in there just for a little fun, and also made some connections between some of the Orlando City players and that coach. Alright, the first candidate, Jason Kreis. He was formerly of New York City Football Club, got sacked after 1 season after not making the playoffs, which is very, very hard as an expansion team, but New York City Football Club wanted to move on immediately. He's a hot name on the lips of everybody around MLS for their head coaching vacancies. No one picked him up yet, but I expect that to change soon. Orlando might jump on him right away. Second candidate, not as likely, but I still see it. I still see it as a strong possibility. Anthony Pulis, the coach of Orlando City B in USL. He knows the organization well. He knows how the front office works, but there's one problem with Anthony Pulis. He's in the same position in a table that Adrian Heath was in a much weaker league. I understand you have a weaker team when you're in USL rather. Sorry, but you're in 7th in the Eastern Conference. I understand you get the Cosmos in there. They're gonna lead, but I don't see how that Anthony Pulis would be appealing if you can't get past 7th in the Eastern Conference in USL, but you just fired your head coach who was 7th in the Eastern Conference in MLS. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Not a plausible move. I think Jason Kreis is your #1 candidate, and that's what more than likely is going to be your new head coach. 3rd candidate, just have a little fun. I threw in Dunga, as it's pronounced. There's a lot of different pronunciations of the dude's name. I call him Dunga. Brazil's former manager got fired after an early exit they got a group stage exit in the Copa America Centenario. I mean, you got connections with Kaká, you got connections with Julio Baptista. I mean, it's a fun name to throw around. But I can see it. I don't really see Dunga wearing a suit with purple ties, but I could see the appeal. I could see the interest of wanting to coach Kaká on a club basis, not just a manager basis. But that's the Orlando situation. If you have any candidates you'd like to bring up, you can tweet me at RileyJamesMC. You can tweet the network at @FootballNews167. Just send us your tweets and we'll do our best to respond. Alright, to this week's matches. Wednesday night, there was a match. It was the New England Revolution hosting New York City Football Club. New York City Football Club, fresh off their win again, fresh off their first win in New York Derby, take a 1-0 win on the road against the Revolution. Midweek game, pretty entertaining. 0-0 at the break. Second half goal for New York City launches them through with 3 points, and they remain at the top of the Eastern Conference table. To the Friday night matches. These are the previews now. It just so happens Friday night's first match, the Orlando City Soccer Club Lions taking on the Houston Dynamo in the Citrus Bowl on UMass. Houston coming off a 1-0 win over the Philadelphia Union. Orlando City coming off a drubbing from FC Dallas. No Kaká, no manager. I don't see Orlando winning this match as much as the Citrus Bowl fans would like to think so. I'm very disappointed. I'm calling Houston win tonight. Second match on Friday night, San Jose Earthquakes hosting the FC Dallas. Like I just said, FC Dallas coming off a steamrolling of Orlando City, which they scored 4 goals, including 1 stoppage time goal, just to make things worse. San Jose, they're coming off a good week. They looked pretty good last week. Wando's back. It should be an entertaining match. Unimas, I believe it starts at 9 o'clock Central Time. That would be 10 o'clock Eastern Time for those on those on the East Coast. West Coast starts at 7. Tune in for that. Unimas Friday night. Earthquakes FC Dallas. Alright, next match. Oh, and I forgot to mention I have a Skittles box because I forgot my paper on this trip because I'm not home currently. So I have to write all the games on the Skittles box. So give me a second. It's Seattle and Los Angeles Galaxy up next. Clint Dempsey should be back. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. Jordan Morris, it's hard to see him play after a midweek friendly against West Ham United. Seattle 1-1 against a depleted Toronto FC last week. I don't know how much that friendly is going to help them with their confidence boost of it. With, like I said, to score multiple goals against the English Premier League, a diluted English Premier League side, but still an English Premier League team. I don't know if that's going to help, but LA Galaxy coming off a fantastic week last week. CVG with 2 assists. They look good. I think LA gets one on the road. Next match is Philadelphia and DC United. Philadelphia coming off a loss last week to Houston, and DC United coming off a late Jeffrey goal. No, Jared Jeffrey goal, rather. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be a well-played, evenly matched draw between those two teams. Can't see a winner there. Next match, it's New England, Columbus. New England coming off a midweek game, which they lost. I think they'll lose this one too. Columbus looks really good as late. Ola Kamara playing well in the absence of Kai Kamara, who is now with the New England Revolution. Should be a fun match because they do play each other. I don't know if Kai Kamara is going to play or not, but it should be a fun match anyways. If Kamara does play, look for that to be an interesting storyline, and I'll talk about that next week. Toronto and Chicago. Sorry, the writing in the box is really hard. But Toronto FC, like I said, injuries upon injuries upon injuries, but Chicago's really bad. I think Chicago actually pulls off a win here. Just because of Toronto injuries. If Toronto maybe had one of the 4 guys playing, I'd say Toronto gets the win, but I don't see it happening. I don't see any way Chicago loses this match. Next match, Real Salt Lake and Montreal. Interesting match. Kyle Beckerman, he's back. Montreal has Didier Drogba playing because it's on grass. Because he has that weird thing. I don't really see a winner. I think it's going to be a draw. If there was a winner, if I had to pick one, I'd go with Montreal over Real Salt Lake, even though Montreal is making the trip across 2 countries and kind of across the country. But I think Montreal would win if Real Salt Lake doesn't score a late goal. So I'm picking a draw there. Vancouver and Colorado. Much anticipated Tim Howard debut last week. Fantastic. Glorious man. The most American of days for most American guys. He looked pretty good. I think Colorado actually get a 2-0 win to try to catch up with Dallas in the rankings table, whatever you prefer to say. Those were all the Saturday matches. Now to the Sunday matches. New York Red Bulls host Portland. In case you didn't hear, the Red Bulls have dealed Lloyd Sam to DC United for allocation money. I wanted to be the first to tell you that if you haven't already heard. But New York Red Bulls hosting the defending champions. I actually got Portland going on the road. Got Nagby, got Valeri, got Audi. too much for New York. Last match of the week is Sporting Kansas City and New York City Football Club. I think New York City's gonna be a little flat after the midweek game. I know all the guys played, but I think they're still gonna be a little bit tired. Kansas City's had a full week off. They'll have 7 days in between matches, and Kansas City get a 3-1 win with Dom Dwyer scoring, Benny Feilhaber scoring, and Graham Zusi. Alright, that's this week's matches. I'll be back next week to review and preview matches. 2 videos next week. Really appreciate you guys, and as we say in America, don't score own goals. Follow me on Twitter, JamesMC. Follow the network, Football News 167. Thank you guys. You've been great as always. I'll see you next week.